America. Our churches have been infiltrated by the Zionists. Our government has been infiltrated by Luciferians. And our cities have been infiltrated by madness. They want our heads. They want our silence. And this is our response in Christian resistance. We are a select few of Christian soldiers. And we need to know, are you down? And now, for the ministry they call Super Soldier.
Okay. This ain't a nugget. This is a gold mine that I'm going to read to you right now. This is teaching number 3. Okay. So this is a gold mine, but it's in John 3. Here we are, John 3 again, right? John 3:30. John 3:30. This is John the Baptist is speaking. Just one little verse, one small verse, and it says, "He must increase." This is John talking about Jesus, "but I must decrease." Okay? So the fastest way up is down. Do away with yourself already. Can't you see that? It was us as the problem. See, when I was an addict and things would go bad for me, I'd always blame somebody else. It was always somebody else's fault. It was, they did me dirty. They did me wrong. It was somebody else's fault. Never could I take responsibility for my own actions. You know, I gotta leave this town. You know what? I'm telling you, you could run as far as you can. You can go to the next state or 2 states over. It doesn't matter because you can't outrun yourself. Can't you see that we're the problem? We are the problem. And you know, I minister in jails, and I see people when the light turns on in their head and they realize everything that's happened to me was my fault. It was my fault. And you know what? The quicker you realize that, the quicker you can move forward. You know, you want to come out of this addiction. You want to come up. And the quickest way to come up, do away with yourself already. Come on. Because when you do away with yourself, it's the more room for Jesus to come in and fill that. See, we have a giant void, and the only way you could fill that void is with Jesus. So do away with yourself already and let Jesus come in. You know, we so want to hold on to the wheel all the time. We want to be in the driver's seat. We want to be in the driver's seat. You know what? Do away with yourself. Can't you see it's that ourselves that are the ones that are getting us into all this trouble? It's ourselves. Everything that we did. I mean, you know, we want to blame other people, you know, so-and-so, and they doing this, and people are conspiring against. No one's conspiring against you, man. This was all done by our own hand. Your own hand. Just do away with yourself already. You're just hanging on so tight. You're hanging on so tight. And to what? Let Jesus come in. Let Jesus take over. You know, because when Jesus shows up, he shows out. And the quickest way up is down. Just to do away with yourself already. I mean, come on. Don't you think it's time already? Just to let go of the will and let Jesus? You know, that's the quickest way to come out of this pit that we find ourselves in called addiction. Is just to give up already. Just to give up. And just, you know, I can't handle it. You know, these problems are too big for us, but they're not too big for Jesus. What is it that he can't handle? He has the whole world in his hand. Just give it up, man. Just lay it at the cross already. Lay it all at the cross, man. You know, that burden is too much to bear. You know, well, I do drugs because, you know, I can't deal with life demands. You don't know what happened to me when I was little. I mean, excuse after excuse, you know, that the reason, you know, I do drugs to kill the pain and stuff. You know what? Do away with yourself already, man. And let Jesus come in and let Jesus heal the pain. And you keep on coming back and hear these videos. You keep on coming back for these videos here. Because if you haven't changed, it will come. You come to Jesus as you are, and he will change you. You come to Jesus as you are, and he will change you. You don't clean up and then you walk into a church. No, then what good was Jesus? You come to Jesus just as you are. Man, I used to do dope before I used to go to church because I hated being an addict. But I knew where the answer was at, and I knew that the answer was Jesus. And sure enough, me being terco, but terco for God, hard-headed, but hard-headed for God, you know what? He showed up. He did show up. And I was set free. And God, you know what? There is no favorites. His heart is breaking for your situation right now. But if you do the same thing, and you're hard-headed, and you show up, God will show up. And he's right there. And he's been there the whole time. Even when we were acting crazy. He's been there the whole time. And all he wants is to be a part of your life. You got to invite him into your life. In every aspect of your life. You got to invite him in. Just say, you know what, Jesus? Less of me and more of you. Just pray that. Less of me and more of you. Come into my life. Change me. I do away with myself. Pray that. If you can't pray anything else, just say, Jesus, less of me and more of you in my life. And you'll be amazed by the changes that you see. Man, I'm telling you, you're launching a comeback. People have written you off. They have talked about you, but you know what? They haven't seen the last of you. You will make a comeback. You will come out of this. And it's going to be by the blood of Jesus that you do so. And all the glory, when it happens, all the glory is going to go to Jesus. All the glory is going to go to God. We lift his name up so far above everything else that this drug addiction, this alcohol addiction is under our feet. Under his feet and under your feet, more specifically. Victory is ours, but more specifically, victory is yours. Victory is yours. Believe that. Believe that. Victory is yours today. Man, I can't wait to see their faces when they see you again. I can't wait to see their faces, their jaw hit the ground when they see you. And they won't even have to ask what happened. Because they know that the change that's going to happen in you, it could only be God. It could only be God. That only God could do something like that. And you say, no, I'm just too bad. I've been gone. I've been just such a drug addict for too long. I can't. No. That's more of a testimony of what God can do. There's not a hard case for God. There's not a hard case for God. And you keep on coming back and you keep on hearing these videos. And you know what? Even when you're clean and sober, you come back and you hear these videos and you learn them. That way you could teach it to others. Because God's not going to take you out of this so you could live a wonderful life and go about your life and just live a wonderful life. He's taking you out of this so you could be part of the army of God. And in order to soldier up, you got to sober up. So you could soldier up so you can go and help others. God's going to use you. That's what this whole thing's about. Is that God's going to use you. I'm not here because I like to I'm here raising up an army. Raising up an army. And I'm going to people that you would never expect. Most preachers don't even want anything to do with the addicts and because it's not glamorous. It's not glamorous to go hug someone that's hooked on drugs or maybe someone that's homeless, or it's not the glamorous thing to do. But I don't care about glamorous. Don't you know that you're the apple of God's eye? And God's going to use exactly... You know what? I'd rather be in the trenches with you sober any day. Because I know what God brought you out of. I know what... I know what hell that God brought you out of, and I'd rather be in the trenches with you sober any day. You hang in there and stay tuned.